I'm on your website right now, subjectline.com.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's cool. Everyone should check it out. You've got this
Thanks.
free enter your subject line here and then evaluate. And here's my question for you, though. What's a way that maybe you could use this to evaluate your subject line in a way that most people might not think? Because I imagine that you've probably used this, hundreds of thousands of different ways. And I wonder if you've got any special tricks on how to use this.
Yeah, in general, it's a starter. It's an idea starter. Okay. So if you notice when you go to subjectline.com, it is a free tool. It doesn't ask you anything. It doesn't say, hey, who are you promoting to? Is this for a business offer or a consumer offer? It doesn't ask you any of that. So what it gives you back is kind of the don't screw this up completely and think about these things, right? And it's kind of like an idea starter for your subject line that in general, don't just gloss over it, right? Try different tactics in your subject line all the time. And then the mistakes that people make is, the idea of confirmation bias, that you're gonna make, okay, we're gonna try sticking an emoji in the subject line. We've never done that before, even though it's totally off brand, we're gonna try it. Great, we do it and it works well. And you're like, oh my goodness, it works so well. Now you're doing that every single time, blah, 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 because it works so well. That's the worst thing you do in any kind of marketing. What you want to have, whether it's your social posts, your email subject lines, whatever you do, you need an arsenal of tactics that you're rotating through, because if you do the same tactic every single time, it won't work, right? It's kind of the same idea with email templates, which always drive me bananas. A lot of companies, law firms, whatever, right? They're like, we made a new email template. All of our emails now look like this. And we hit send, and when we sent it out, it did so much better than what we used to send out. And I was like, wow, this template's wildly good, which is ridiculous. What happened was you did something different, right? It stood out a little bit. It wasn't the same garbage you've always been doing. But they think, oh, it worked because it's a great template. No, which is why you need to have many different formats of your emails and many different formats of your social posts. And you got to mix it up to actually not become wallpaper. So that's the same thing with subject lines. You need to have an arsenal. So the site gives you a lot of ideas of how to kind of build that arsenal.
I love that. I've seen where you said that emotion drives clicks more than logic, and I wonder how can you trigger emotion in such a short amount of time with the email subject line? Because that seems like it can be really difficult.
Well, let's talk about clicks for a second because you bring it up, and I think it's one of the most missed over opportunities in email marketing and also for your social posts as well. So if somebody opens up the email, right, and let's say you want them to attend a webinar or download a piece of content or something, right? So what do we all do? And let's just say it was a webinar. You promote this webinar, here's the speakers, whatever, here's the topic, and then you have a button, a rectangular button, a call to action button in that email. And that button, I would say 95% of the time is going to say the word register, because that's what you want them to do. You want them to register. But that's couldn't be more of a turnoff. In general, when you talk about how do you get people to click, you want to get in their mindset. The easiest thing you could do in your email marketing or on your social post or anywhere else is to write things in first person. So instead of register, it would say, yes, count me in. Instead of register, it would say, save my spot. When you actually write things in first person on your call to action buttons, those long rectangular buttons, we see click-through rates rise by over 25%. And you should do this on your landing pages. You should do this on your social posts. Reframe everything into the person's mindset, not what you want them to do. And these are the little things when people say, oh, email doesn't work for us. Email doesn't work for you because you're not playing the game. There's no one thing you're going to do that's going to crush it. There's a lot of these little things that add up to totally change the outcome.
It's funny when you said that, I instantly started thinking about emails that I thought were great emails, and then emails that maybe I've drafted that were not so great,
Right.
that were not in the first person. So I think that's a great one.